partner, Elena Bowman. We are down to four, the final four of the 2021 HitTrax Pro-Am. So if you were with us earlier today, you saw some pretty exciting games, walk-off home runs, last-minute ground outs that could have won it, just all sorts of excitement. Some really good hitters, power hitters. And we're down to the final four now. And this game is a number 3 versus a number 7 seed. Number 3 is Trevor Martin out of Lawson Bar in Washington. And keeping it in the state of Washington, number 7 is Rich Prigatano out of the Driveline facility. We know a lot about Rich, don't know too much about Trevor. So, I don't know, Elena, this is going to be another exciting game, no?
Yeah, Trevor's a little bit of a mystery, so we're excited to see him step in the box and compete. I mean, just from the looks of that stature, he looks like a pretty strong guy. I don't think I'm speaking out of school there, but with that said, I mean, echoing everything that Mike said, it's been a heck of a matchup so far today, most of them coming down to the final inning. And I think this is going to be no short of that. So we got some money on the line. We definitely have a lot of pride on the line, and it's a single elimination game. So, it's winner advances to the finals tomorrow. Loser goes home, still getting a check, but not that big of a check. And so I think we're going to see one heck of a matchup here.
Okay, great. They're about ready to start. But what about that money, though? So what do these players have right in the bank now, and what's on the line for this win?
So we got $250, an additional $250 riding on this win. So both players, just for advancing to the semis, are bringing home $250, cash in the pocket. Take yourself out, take your girl out for a nice beer or something like that. But advancing to the semifinals, or to the finals, is going to get you an extra $250 just to get there. So $500 going to the second place winner of the HitTrax Pro-Am, and $1,500 going to the first place winner. So that big $1,000 bump tomorrow. But with that being said, they got to win this game to get to the next one, and we're already seeing the gameplay underway. So Mike, take us through a little bit of the format.
Okay, so what we're seeing here are two players, two at-bats, simultaneously, what we call sync play. So they both play at the same time. They both hit at the same time, and they're in the first inning. They make an out, they make 2 outs, they make 3 outs. Once you make 3 outs, you have to sit and wait for the next batter to make their third out before they can both advance to the next inning. So it's what we call sync play. So it kind of keeps things kind of fast and furious, and then when that one player makes that third out, the other player is by themselves. So what we're seeing was already underway here. Rich Prigatano on the right, he had a leadoff double off the wall. He has 1 out. And Trevor Martin, I got to move my screen here. He has 1 out and me on second, so they're both in the same spot here. And then
that gets him on the board. 2-run shot for Prigatano to get things started. That's awesome. And pretty true to form here, Mike, from Prigatano. 101 off the bat pretty consistently. I think his average EV in the previous round was right around 103 miles per hour. So this guy hits the ball in the nose. He doesn't miss.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know a lot about Rich from the qualifying round that was open to everyone and their mother over 18 years old. We have all the stats from that, plus today's game. Trevor never actually confirmed his online account, so we got no information from him. So he's a mystery. But as Lena said, he looks pretty big, and he just hits a 102-mile-an-hour ball in the 6 hole to play to run, while Prigatano, Rich, is still up 2-1. So they're both going live. Rich has bases clear with 1 out. Look on the left, first and second with 2 outs, and he likes that 6 hole. So 105 to fill the bases
both
up station
apparently.
there.
Yeah, what we can say about Trevor as well, we might not know too much information about him, but we could talk a lot about Jake Larson, who he beat on the road to get here. Jake Larson's a University of Minnesota commit. He's played in a ton of HitTrax tournaments in the past. He competed in the Buddy Bash, put on a show there. So that's no small feat, taking down Jake Larson. So you got to give it to Trevor in that walk-off win in round 1 to get here. I think it speaks to just the caliber of his play.
And he just showed it there. He just hit a bases loaded double off the left center field wall to plate 2 to pull ahead 3-2. And he likes that left side of the infield with those ground balls. That one, unfortunately, went right to the shortstop. So he's out.
Oof.
And now Rich who was down 3-2, just hit a
Scorched.
2-run homer. So 110 miles an hour at 25 degrees. You
Wow.
see that data up in the upper left-hand corner. EV stands for exit velo. LA stands for launch angle. So that was 110.25. And as we said before, Trevor scored 3 outs. He can't advance to the next inning. He's standing in the batter's box, but if they start throwing pitches, it's not going to track. It shouldn't track anyway. They
Yeah,
got the
maybe
third
just
out.
getting his
Sorry.
time down. But here we go.
You got the
Off
third
to the
out.
second inning. I think a really quality start here so far. A one-run ball game. And both guys just hitting the ball in the nose, huh, Mike? I think we're
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
pretty
We're seeing
consistently
that.
high 90s, low 100s.
What we're
Just
seeing with
impressive.
Trevor, he loves that 6 hole. So that's this third hit in the 6th hole. They're all negative launch angles. So hopefully it doesn't come back and bite him with a double play. But why not? Why don't you go, a little short of the warning track? So that's 1 out. What we know from
Yeah,
Rich,
and
though,
I gotta say, I think Trevor is the first person so far that we've seen today consistently put the ball in play for singles. I think there's so much firepower in this field of hitters. It's kind of nice to see a little station to station baseball, and
mhm.
put a couple runners on and score them with a double or a single. So I'm curious to see, Mike, how that's going to stack up against the Prigatano, who
Yep,
is much the long ball guy.
yep, yep. And it was again. There's another ball, low launch angle at 7. It was a line drive, but right at the shortstop. So his launching,
And
we have no
if
data
I'm
from
seeing
him.
things appropriately here in the bottom right hand corner, looks like Rich has a broken bat. I think he's got to regrip a bat before he steps in the box, so we might have a little bit of a delay here in the gameplay while Rich gets situated. And you hope that doesn't mess with his mojo. I mean, a broken bat, it is what it is, but at the same time, he was barreling up with that old beast. So I hope he's able to take this new stick and step back in and do the same kind of damage.
Mhm. So you're right, and meanwhile, Trevor had those 3 outs. So I hope he realizes that he's not gonna system's not gonna report any hits there until Rich actually goes to the plate the second inning. So Trevor has a little bit of a wait now, unfortunately, and I think he realizes it now. So talking a little bit more about Rich, what you're going to see out of him is high exit velos. He did take home the $250 that we had for the qualifying round, the highest exit velo. He had 114, so he won 250 in the qualifying round just with the high exit velo. And he topped out at 116 in the first inning or the first game. That's Oppo. Interesting. 87 into the right fielder's mitt. We haven't seen many opposite field shots today. We've seen Rich go to center and of course left. That was his first one he went to right with. Didn't get all of it, obviously. But we're going to
Yeah,
see
I wonder
some
how
high
slippery.
exit
Well,
velos,
takes care
just
of it.
like
There you
that.
go.
Yep, just like that. That's Rich. That's what he did the first
He's
inning.
back.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna see average. His average exit velo in the preliminary round was over 100, which is crazy. And again, maxed out at 114. So, and the launch angles are going to be. You're not going to see many ground balls from Rich.
So two mics run through earlier. If you make those 3 outs, you just got to sit back and watch as the other half of your screen completes their inning. And what we see with this kind of thing, and Rich has gotten 2 quick outs and not pulled away too much. But this is definitely an opportunity to widen your lead. So he's up by 2 runs with Trevor, no opportunity to step in, and now the inning's over. But it's interesting to see, that dynamic as we go deeper into the game when those opportunities come into play. We've seen time and time again the players that have taken advantage, of those half innings have really been the ones that come out on top pretty consistently.
Absolutely. There's no pressure. You're sitting there. The other player's done. You don't have to watch over your shoulder, like we've seen so many. That's a nice shot by Trevor, 96 over the center fielder's head for a leadoff double. But there's no pressure there. But then you see Richard there, 99-34 for the home run in
That'll do it.
left center field.
Yeah,
So where are
again,
we
I
playing
think
today? We're playing in. Where are we playing
at Dodger
today?
Stadium.
This is Dodger Stadium. Yeah, it is. That's right. Chavez Ravine. Yeah.
I am curious, Mike, to see how a little bit more of the station baseball is going to stack up against, kind of the more powerhouse. I
Yeah.
think it's pretty impressive the amount of hits so far that Trevor's gotten just in 3 innings alone. So I'm excited to see where we land in the sixth inning. Mike's prediction always is the person that scores 32 runs, right, is the one that ends up on top. But we'll see. We'll see who
I
gets there
don't know where
first.
you came up. I don't know where you came up with that, but Trevor is hitting the ball low. So that one was a 101 14-degree line drive right at the center field. We had to come in a couple of steps to pick that up. He's got to find the gaps here. And again, this could be a double play, folks, and it is.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah. So that you're playing with fire there. You're hitting the ball that hard on the ground. You're playing with fire, and you want to get in that six hole, but so far he's had 3 hits in the six hole, but a couple of that double play was kind of costly there. That's a rally killer, and that's another one right there. That was the same thing, 105 at -1 degree to third baseman. You don't see that from Rich too often. Luckily, that was a runner on second and not first, because that would have been a double play as well. Perfect defense on the HitTrax defense. You're not gonna see any errors. You're not gonna see any bad throws.
Yeah,
Yeah, no one's making errors.
I don't. Umpire, that's for sure.
You can't handcuff that
that's
shortstop.
awesome. Well, we
on the
saw
short.
a really cool interview out of Rich after the first game, and Andrew Barry. He's our sideline correspondent there at Driveline, if you will.
Yep.
He asked, Rich, how you feeling? The first thing that Rich said was tired. And I think that's a big component of these games. Is it's a lot of swings, it's a lot of energy. You're giving out a lot of force. So it's interesting to see when we get into the second game of the day, the difference in the hitters, and then especially as we get deeper into this game, if we'll start to see, I'm curious if we'll start to see those exit velocities drop a little bit. But so far, it doesn't look like the guy is slowing down.
Well, this is a big at bat right here. He just took a big cut and it went straight up. This is a big at bat. So he's up 7-3. Trevor's watching. He made the third out. First and third, 2 outs. Again, up by 4 runs. This is a big at bat right here. And there's a bit of a mental psyche thing that goes on. That's the second pitch. He has 4 pitches before he makes that out. But Trevor's watching, man. He looks calm. He looks like a calm, cool dude over there. But I'm sure he's paying attention to this at bat and see what the results are. And again, maybe not. But I think it's a pretty big at bat. And what does he do? He hits a home run. 99, 100 miles an hour, 35.
Wow.
10-3. Yep. And now you're looking at it. Yep. Trevor, it's okay, man. You can come back. Flex those muscles. You got it, buddy. Don't let them get in your head. But see, this is the advantage, right? All right, so now it's a pop-up, totally. 80 miles an hour, 61
also, the
degrees.
beauty of these games, Mike, is really no lead is insurmountable. I think we just saw Rich put, 6-7 runs up here in the fourth. There's nothing to say that Trevor can't do that. The same thing here as we head into the fourth inning. I'm sorry, he did it in the third. But it's all offense, and there's nothing to say that when these guys don't get on a run and get on time with their pitching machine, that they can't go on a tear. So it's not insurmountable. It's actually a very close lead, especially in this format. So let's see what we're halfway through the game. Let's see how Trevor responds here in the fourth.
Yeah. So that's 2 nice shots, but unfortunately, a little bit lower launch angle from Trevor in the center fielder caught that while Rich was over his head. So that was for a double there on the right side, but a line drive out. So Larson, what Trevor at Larson Barn needs to do there is he needs to get on base, not make the outs, and hopefully, now there's another home run by Rich, and hopefully maybe have a quick inning on Rich's side, so Trevor can just relax, not look over his shoulder, and just put some runs up. But again, Rich has shown, man, he's kind of a constant threat up there, and there's another ground ball to the shortstop by Trevor.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the adjustment here is for Trevor, but you're right, Mike. I mean, he's got to stay off the ground. He's got to stay off the ground, especially, the shortstop and that third baseman. So you'd love to see him try to drive the ball a little bit more up the middle. Not sure what he's got to do to make that happen, but you just kind of see that as a key to success right now.
There's a little pop-up for the infield. So what's going to happen? That's for the third out. Someone caught that. By the third inning or fourth inning, our AI algorithms kick in and the automatic shift happens. So you're going to see in the fourth inning, there's going to be
you have no right fielder.
a six-player infield.
So we're going to have to do
on the left side.
Back for Rich by about 50 feet, so that not everything's a home run. And
Yep.
yeah, we put that shift on here for Trevor
We
to
put
make
the
it
shift on.
fair.
The AI algorithms kick in, and the AI shift comes on, and there's going to be 6 infielders on the left side of the infield for Trevor coming up. I think it's in 4 innings 5. Those algorithms kick in, but I'm joking there. But unfortunately, there was 3 quick outs by Trevor in the 4th inning, so he has to sit back and watch again. Where they're fooling around with the pitching machine. So there's been some problems with the pitching machine at Driveline today. One was almost a pretty costly mistake in game 1, but Rich played through it. And that's a ball. No, it's a strike actually, but he took that. But they were making some adjustments to that pitching machine today at Driveline.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
one
I think
out.
having some trouble getting
Ooh,
it dialed in, and there's a lot of pressure. So these aren't strikes, full count at bats. We go 4 pitch rule in these tournaments. So if you don't put that 4th pitch in play, whether it's a foul ball, a swing and miss, doesn't matter. That costs you an at bat. So as you start seeing those pitches count up to 2, 3, the pressure's on. You know, it's kind of like an old school hit and run. You got to get the job done.
with those pitch counts, absolutely. And there's 113 miles an hour, 15 degrees over the left fielder's head. Not high enough to get out, but it short hopped the wall for a double. 2 outs, and he's built a 12-3 lead here. That's a big hack. Went straight back. That's a big hack by Rich. He's not holding anything back here. So again, he finds himself really no pressure here. He's up 9. He's not having to watch that left side of the screen. And
Is it Carey?
96-39.
No,
The
sir.
center fielder got under it. He's
Into
shaking
the
his head
5th we
there.
go.
This game's flying by. It's get late. It gets late early here at HitTrax tournaments.
Yogi is
All right. So we talk about gamesmanship a lot, Elena, don't we? What do you think about this?
Yeah, and just
this
I think the
gamesmanship.
strategy here, you know, if you are Rich,
Larson.
you kind of sit
Yep.
back and just see what Trevor does and see if he makes him outs early, or do you get in there and just keep your foot on the pedal?
What I would do?
you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, and I'm curious your thoughts on this. What is the strategy here if you're playing from ahead? You know, do you just keep going for it and continue to, if you're in your groove, continue to play
Yeah.
your game, or step back?
Well, I usually play from behind, unfortunately, because I'm an old man. If I was Trevor right now, I wouldn't be hitting. I would actually, you've been doing it. He's been making outs. I would want to see what Trevor can do with Rich out 1, 2, 3. Now, Rich isn't a 1, 2, 3 guy. I don't think he's done it yet. But I would love to take it for Trevor, just to take his time here and relax, and hopefully Rich can make some outs, and then the next thing you know,
Yeah.
you have no one batting on the right side,
Yeah,
no pressure,
that's
and then
maybe a
try
bases
to
clearing
go.
double though for
So
Trevor.
that's good. That's good.
Maybe
I
runners
wouldn't
on
be in a
second and
rush.
third. Yeah,
I wouldn't be in a
you
rush.
might just start chipping away at this thing.
This is a big at bat right here. There you go. He likes that 6-hole. Look at that.
Yeah, he's starting to
And
find
he hits the
some
ball
grass
so
out
hard that
there.
he's not going to score that runner from second on those really hard hits to the left fielder. That third base coach, it's been critical there. That third base coach, he's not someone to wave those runners around a lot.
Send him around, coach.
Send him around. No, but he did score on a sacrifice fly there, so he's got it down 12.
Another bases clearing double
4.
for Rich. He doubles his
Yeah.
lead, if you will, 7-14
Dang.
here in the 5th.
With no outs.
And no outs. And that's going to be the second out here for Trevor. So, you know, it does seem like Trevor's starting to string some hits together. You love to see it, especially in late innings. Anything can happen. So, you know, it seems like he's starting to find his rhythm, huh, Mike?
Yeah, he does. He is. He's still hitting those ground balls, short, low line drives there. But 106, I wouldn't mind it, to be honest with you. But then there's another home run, 137, 100 miles an hour, 37 degrees.
This guy's a
And
machine.
He's just opening up, he really, really is very consistent. And Trevor almost hit one off his front foot there, foul.
Yeah, if you play this game, you know that hurts. So I'm glad it missed him.
Oh, there's that
Those
line drive
foul
right
balls
to
to the shin
shortstop
don't
again.
feel so good.
No, didn't you do that a couple of weeks ago? You were crying.
Yeah, yeah, we don't have to talk about it too much, but
Okay, we don't have
yeah.
to talk about it. That's a third. That's a third out. That was a line drive right at the shortstop for Trevor. So again, he's sitting down watching Rich finish the inning off with only one out in a 9-run lead. So this is where Rich can win the ball game here.
Yeah, and I say
It's the
this
fifth inning.
cautiously, but he's cruising, huh?
Yeah, he really is. That was one of his weakest hits at 98 miles an hour, ground ball. But he pulled the Trevor Martin and went in the 6 hole.
Yeah, and you know what? It just seemed like even in the first game, he's not mishitting balls. He's just hitting them at
No,
people. His outs are loud
nope,
outs, and so that's a tough guy to beat. Somebody that's going
nope.
to continue to put balls out of the other side of the park here in late innings at 111 miles an hour.
So how did he get to be a 7 seed? He took care of the 5 seed, I believe. Great game this afternoon against what was his
Cody
name? Please help me
Decker,
out
the
there.
2 seed.
Yes, with the 2 seed. So he took care of a 2 seed today. Unbelievable game. And Cody could have won actually, and he was down 1 run.
That
He had
last
last
inning.
at bats, and he couldn't do it. He grounded out to third. To Pablo, 2012 version of Pablo Sandoval. But but Rich has been constant. And there is again, we found the 100 miles an hour. So now it's an 11 lead, still one out.
Yeah, and you know what I wonder too. Actually, all facilities today seem like they've got a great energy going, but there does seem to be something about that community at Driveline. You see 5 or 6 people there just hyping them up around the cage, and even when your body's a little bit tired, when you got your buddies around you cheering for you, especially in late innings here, and you catch a rhythm. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch these guys having so much fun and enjoying playing this game. But B, you wonder how much that contributes to his
Oh,
success as well.
look at that. 108.30. Nice. That's going to leave any ballpark. 108.30. That's a
Back to
shot.
back,
Another
in
laser
for a
beam.
double.
Yeah, no, that's a double. But he's opened up a very commanding lead right now. 2 outs, and he has a 14-run lead. So 2 touchdowns that Trevor Martin has to make up in the 6th inning. And I don't think we've seen a slow inning from Rich this today yet. So he's always been putting
Yeah,
up 4 or 5 runs.
you're right. Like
And
that's the tough thing here is
it's
Trevor's got some work to
automatic.
do, but he also needs Rich to get ice cold, which combined seems like a pretty tall task. But
It,
let's talk about the format here in the 6th inning. This is the last inning of the ball game. These guys are going to go out for out. So Trevor as or actually Rich as the lower seed is going to hit first, or should hit first. Looks like they're stepping in at the same time. So maybe they're just going for it. But as it should work is they go back and forth. So Rich will make an out, and then Trevor will step in. But you know what? Whatever, Mike, right? Let's just go for it.
Whatever.
I think
Hey, that's the nicest hit we've seen so far from Trevor. 96-21. We need more of those shots, Trevor. That's what we need.
Yeah, you said
And
forget your
then,
rules, guys.
yeah,
I'm here to hit,
yeah.
and I need to
Just
make up
hit.
some ground.
Let them
So
play.
here we go, 23-7 in the 6th inning. Uh,
Oof.
that moves a runner. Smart base running there from the man on second tagging up on that deep
Yeah.
fly ball. But 1 out on Trevor's side of the screen, no outs on Rich's side of the screen. Here we are in the
Oof.
6th inning of the semifinal matchup.
This kid can hit. So Rich is 28 years old. Trevor's 29. So they're roughly the same age. We know that Rich is a driveline, an instructor at driveline. And again, Trevor, not much known about him. he is working out at Larson Barn in Washington State. So maybe they're close by. Ooh, off the top of the wall.
Yeah, a mystery man, but a power lifter, and
Is
clearly
he?
swings about, putting the balls in play at 103. So he's not going down
Oh,
quietly, which you got to give some respect to.
yeah. But like we said, Rich is just automatic. He just keeps on hitting. He doesn't go to, like you said, you want to see him get cold. He doesn't get cold.
Yeah,
There is not a
totally.
bad inning from Rich. We have yet to see a bad inning. Look at that, 111 miles an hour at 11 degrees, right at the left field. That's the only way he can get out. He is on
It's a
top of
loud
every ball. A
out.
couple of missed hits here and there. Center field, I've seen him go oppo just a few times, but that was the out. That was the type of outs that he hits. Just they're all out, just like that. Same thing, same thing.
Yeah,
So two
2 in a row.
outs. Yep, that was only 95 miles an hour.
Well, here we are down to
So
our
we have,
last out on both sides of the screen.
yeah.
We'll see what these guys do with it, but pretty safely. You got Rich with 26 runs and adding to it in a really good position to be advancing to the finals.
Did you say 32? 32 runs? Is that what you said?
26. Now 27?
No. Well, he's 27 now, but did you say that he's going to score 32?
Oh,
Oh,
I understand what you're saying.
nope,
Maybe.
nope.
Let's see if he gets there.
No,
Let's
no,
see if
he
he
hit.
gets there.
No, he hit. No, he hit a line drive to the shortstop, 110 miles an hour. That looks like one of my outs, 110, right at the shortstop.
Maybe in the 90s.
Maybe in the 90s. Yeah,
So Trevor's still an out to play with. We'll see what
maybe
he
in the
does with it.
90s. All right, so relax, Trevor. Just relax. We've seen some great moments like
Oh
this
yeah,
play
Todd
out.
Lott, the
We've seen
HitTrax Open.
some
I
great
think that guy came
Amanda.
back 12 runs with one out left to play with,
Ooh.
but apparently it's not going to be
Oh,
the story today, unfortunately. So you got Rich
fittingly it was a ground
Prigatano
ball to
moving
the
on.
shortstop.
Yeah, it seemed to be the story of the day for Trevor, huh?
Yeah,
Hard outs to the
yeah,
left side of the
unfortunately.
field.
Yes, you're right. He is a power lifter. Kudos, props to you, Trevor Martin. Props to you, man. That's it.
Awesome.
And props to Rich Pragatino. He is a very strong, consistent hitter. If you're going up against him in the finals, because guess what? He's in the finals. So to Dan Comstock or Tyler Friis, whoever wins this next game that's coming up in an hour, you're going to have to put on your
Yeah.
hitting shoes to
Yeah, I
play
ate
against Rich
breakfast for
because,
sure. And
yeah,
we got a lot of people rooting for that Dan Comstock, Rich Prigatino matchup. The two driveline guys, I think they're both driveline instructors. So the ultimate, last man standing competition. So Dan's got to do some work to make
bragging
that
rights.
happen. But Rich took care of business today with a commanding win here, 27-8 against Trevor Martin in the semifinals of the HitTrax program. It was fun to watch, though, Mike. I mean, no matter how the score shook out, these guys can hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, I was saying it was a ground balls, but these guys were hitting. His average exit velo was 102, 103 miles an hour. So obviously, Trevor is a very strong individual, very talented individual there. Just unfortunately, he got a little too many ground balls. That double play killed him. That was deflating, actually. But two very talented hitters. So again, hats off to Trevor. Congratulations to Rich. Just two very good athletes. And they both get something, like you said, right?
Absolutely. So next game, right, slotted 9 p.m. Eastern time. Dan Comstock against Tyler Friis. I think we're in for a good matchup. We got the 1 seed advancing to the semifinals, and Tyler Friis and Dan Comstock with the pretty impressive performance in the quarterfinal. It was a dominating show out of him.
Yeah.
So we should be in for a good matchup, Mike.
Great. Look forward to it. That's coming up in a half
All
an
right.
hour.
All right. We'll see you here.
See you then. Ends 10 seconds. Pop the pudding. Hey, hey everyone, Mike Donfrancesco here. I'm with my partner Elena Bowman. She's in Providence. I'm in Westboro, Massachusetts. You are wherever you are in the world, but we know that Dan Comstock and Tyler Friis is both in the state of Washington. They're fighting. They're in the Final Four, and the winner is going to face Rich Prigatano, who just won a pretty exciting game. So this is the matchup that's going to actually go into the finals with Rich. Join Rich in the finals. That's tomorrow night. Pretty exciting here. We know a lot about Dan. We know some stuff about Tyler. We know both are power hitters. Dan especially. We know Tyler is a number 1 seed. We know Dan's the number 5 seed. This is going to be a pretty exciting game. We're about ready to wrap. We're about ready to get going with it, Elena. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, last game to lock in the bracket. I think you said everything perfectly. I think Dan
Did I?
Comstock put on an absolute show in the last game. So if I am Tyler Friis and I watch that game, I'm hoping that he cooled off a little bit. But with that being said, Tyler got here all on his own, number 1 seed out of Larson Barn and in Washington. And I think we're just in for a really great matchup. I think we've seen great hitters all day long. I think this is going to be nothing short of that. And I'm just excited for some good quality baseball, Mike.
Yeah, so Dan was the power hitter, right? He didn't face a lot of pressure in the game earlier today. He was playing up against 18-year-old player out of Washington, out of Idaho, and I think he won something like 22-5 or something like that. So it was no pressure at all, but he was hitting the ball. You're going to see exit velos coming out of him 108, 109 miles an hour. Tyler, I was looking at his stats in the qualifying round. He maxed out about 101, 102. So might be a little bit difference in power there, but still 2 excellent hitters. And I think we're underway now. Now, a little bit about the format. You're going to see both players hit at the same time. We call that sync play. So they can both hit in the first inning or any inning at the same time. And they go 1, 2, 3 outs. They score as many runs as possible. But you cannot advance to the next round until the other hitter has the 3 outs. So what you just saw there was Dan with a nice line drive, but caught right at the center fielder. You'll notice that was 103 miles an hour in the upper left-hand corner at 19 degrees, and it was a line out to the center fielder. Meanwhile, Tyler starts off with a ground ball single up the middle. So that's the action. You're going to see it back and forth, fast and furious. But again, once you make that 3rd out in that inning, you can't advance until the other hitter makes that 3rd out.
Yeah, so
that's
and
the
that
format.
plays to a little bit of gamesmanship. I think that we'll point out here as we go. There's a little bit of strategy, right, Mike? I mean, depending on where you're sitting, depending what the score is, how many outs you have in that inning, you might take a step back, just kind of take a deep breath, see how the other side of your screen plays out. But right here in the first, we typically see these guys go full throttle and just try to put on as many runs as we can. A little bit of a slow start here, only 1 out for Dan Comstock. But we got runners on the corners here for Tyler, and I'm excited to see these guys put up some runs. So we are well underway. We got a tie score, which is, I think, something that I would be surprised to see these guys stay close. Again, Dan really opened it up in the first couple innings last game. We haven't seen him do that here yet, but a lot of baseball left to play. This is a 6-inning game. We'll play them all the way through, and Tyler Friis has runners on all the bases. So we are Okay, and so we're off into the second inning. I'm sorry if we cut out for a second there. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty with the audio. But what's really important is what's happening on these screens. So you got Tyler Friis rolling here with 3 runs in the second inning. Dan Comstock taking maybe a little bit of time to get warmed up, but I will note they got that cage turned over from Rich Prigatano about half an hour ago. So maybe it'll take him a little while to get those warm-up swings in, get his timing down. But with that being said, I would put every dollar that I have that he's going to start hitting the ball in the nose here pretty soon. So here we are, again, second inning of a semifinal matchup of the HitTrax Pro-Am. You have Dan Comstock facing Tyler Friis. I'm joined by my partner, Mike Don Francesco, who we're trying to figure out his audio, so you're stuck with me for a second here. But with that being said, we're starting to see these guys hit the ball in the head. I mean, they're starting to barrel up at close. Seeing Tyler more in the kind of 99, 100 mile an hour range. I think Dan's put a couple in at 105, 106. So again, I wouldn't be surprised to see Dan really start to open it up here in a second. But with that being said, he's got to find some grass. So Dan has 2 outs, 1 left to play with. Tyler's done for the second inning. It's a 3-1 ball game. Not quite the offensive showing that we thought we were going to see here early, but again, a lot of game left, and that is a damn Comstock that we saw at 3 p.m. earlier today. It is just an absolute missile, 104 miles per hour off the bat and back-to-back. 105. Let's see if he can do it again. But again, had to turn over that cage a little quickly. Maybe he the warm-up was a little bit short there. But you can see he's just starting to get in his groove. He's starting to time up. We can talk a little bit about the energy there at Driveline Baseball, which is electric. So I'm sure those guys are hyping him up. And now he's on a roll. 3 back-to-back home runs with 2 outs on him to tie the game. Still here in the second, but with some potential to pull away. So that actually gives him the lead for the first time. It's a 4-3 ball game. I think that's going to get out as well. Dan Comstock, go off, buddy. There you go. That's awesome. You love to see that kind of power and consistency from anybody. And it's fun to watch him just put on a light show right now. So we have talked a little bit about the format. You kind of got a feel for Tyler here for a second. When you make your 3 quick outs, you got nothing to do but wait for the other person to finish their half inning. So with that being said, Tyler is the number 1 seed. Came out of the first round with a pretty decisive win. I believe it was a walk-off. And I wouldn't be surprised again to see him put up a fight here as we head into the third. So it's a pretty close game. We had a 5-3 ball game. Dan Comstock is in the lead, but certainly not insurmountable. So here we go. Heading into the third. And a nice single to put a runner on the bases for Tyler, get things going. He looks pretty calm. I think if I can't hear Mike, but if I could, I'm sure he would actually be seeing the same thing. And Tyler looks very collected. He doesn't look like he's sweating too much. Seems pretty in control. A lot of singles up the middle, right at that kind of 99, 101 range. We haven't seen him kind of open it up too much in terms of deep fly balls, but maybe he'll turn that on here in a second. And we've got Dan stepping back in, ready to take his first at bat of the third inning. So let's talk a little bit about what's on the line for this game. What you're watching is the HitTrax Pro-Am. This is our second semifinals matchup. So the winner of this game will be facing Rich Prigatano tomorrow evening in the HitTrax Pro-Am finals game, which will be a best of 3 game series. And with that being said, you got to get there first. So the winner of this game will also be adding $250 to their already $250 that they've received for advancing to the semifinals matchup. And they'll get a big boost with the win tomorrow. So first place is bringing home $1,500. And then second place, $500. Third and fourth, $250. So both of these guys, no matter what, win or loss, are going to be walking away with something. but there's a little bit more incentive, along with all the bragging rights and pride for it, to advance into that next round. So we're still in the third. Not a lot of run production here. Still a 5-3 ball game. Dan Comstock has a runner in scoring position on second base with 1 out. And again, if we saw anything in that last inning, he's really starting to open it up. And maybe he just likes hitting with 2 outs on him. I mean, maybe that could be the deal. We saw him put 4 back-to-back home runs on the board in the last inning with 2 outs. So let's see if he'll do it here again. And this is a tough position to be in here if you're Tyler. So again, Tyler just has to watch. Can't advance to the next inning until Dan makes his last out. And there you go. Hard line drive to the third baseman, who's been making some pretty incredible plays all day long. But now we are halfway through this ball game. It's pretty close. If you're familiar at all with any kind of the sync play format, there really isn't a lead that's insurmountable. So that being said, a 4-run lead is definitely within reach for Tyler. And again, the number 1 seed out of the qualifying round was not a small feat. I mean, you had everybody competing. In this program, you had professional players, amateur players, instructors, you had dads, you had the CEO of HitTrax, you had a pretty big mix throwing their names in the hat. So to come out the number 1 seed out of the qualifying round again is not chump change. So Tyler, although we don't know as much about his background, we do know that this guy can hit. And I would bet a lot of money that he's going to make a run for it here and start putting some runs on the board. Now he's got runners on first and second. So Dan steps back in. He really likes that left field shelf at Dodger Stadium. And he does it again, a solo home run at 108 miles an hour, 22 degrees. It's hard to hit a ball out at 22 degrees, too. That's got to be a shot. That's a rising line drive, but it's pretty low in terms of extra base hits. Typically, we see 25 plus in terms of damage done. And he's doing it consistently. Look at that. At 22, 19, that one goes off the wall. Base runner slides in for a double. And Dan Comstock is really starting to open it up for an 8-5 lead. That's a run from Tyler. But he is locking in on that left side of the field and beyond the wall there. So not to be outdone, and I got to say this, Tyler's hanging in, single after single. He's playing a little bit more station-to-station baseball, which we've seen a couple times in this tournament, not as frequently, but this can be effective, and you just continue to chip away at those runs. You score 1 run at a time, and you'll stay in this ballgame. That's exactly what he's got to do. He's only got 1 out here in the 4th, and that's going to plate another run to bring him within 3 of Dan Comstock. So not sure if that's going to carry. It looks like somebody's going to get under that. And it should only be the first out for Dan in this 4th inning. But we see Tyler continue to just, it's an onslaught of singles. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I actually think there's a lot of beauty in singles. And you just see him continue to get base hits, continue to plate 1 run at a time, use the middle part of the field. It is pretty impressive, that his presence. I like his tempo a lot. He doesn't seem to be rushing whatsoever. And it seems like he's going to continue to stay close in this game. But he's got to do a little bit more than knock on the door. I mean, Dan Comstock, again, just a 2-run shot over the left field wall to pull the lead even a little bit farther ahead. I think that's going to carry 2, maybe. He's got some legs off the wall for a double. So runners in scoring position for both sides of your screen. To review briefly, again, we're going to go 6 innings. This is sync play format. Both guys are facing a pitching speed at a minimum of 65 miles per hour. So it's definitely not front toss. These guys are being challenged. That being said, absolute pros. These guys can hit. They're putting up a fight. And we got a close ball game here in the 4th with a 12-10 run. Is that a double play? Oh, that's a 3rd out. So 3rd out there for Tyler. I know we got a lot of people rooting for Dan Comstock to pull through in this game and make it a drive line matchup here in the finals against Rich Prigatano. But this is definitely a close game. This is anybody's game here. So he's got a lot of work to do before we get there. But you can kind of see the drive line community out there. These Dan Comstock's an instructor From what I've heard, he's one of the hardest hitters in that building, and he's showing it here. So kind of lucky with a foul ball there. It doesn't steal your at bat. You still get an opportunity to step in the box. Sometimes it's a bummer when you accidentally put the ball in play and sacrifice that out on a bad swing. But he kind of caught a little break there. That ball goes foul. He steps in, and does he take advantage of it? I don't know. Caught at the wall. Still an out left to play with. Runner on third base, runner in scoring position, and it seems like in this game right now, I gotta say every run counts, every run matters. So you want to see Dan Comstock take advantage of this opportunity exactly like he just did. Home run, dead center field to pad this lead a little bit with a 15-10 lead here in the fourth with one out left to play with. And he does it again. I just think this guy likes to hit with 2 outs on him. He seems to go on a tear. It's almost like he gets his first 2 outs on purpose just to put his back against the wall and do what he can. Because he's got to be batting 800 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position so far in this game. He continues to deliver with his back against the wall and a single out on the board. So Dan Comstock, we saw him put on quite the show in game 1. He seems to be doing it here again in game 2. But a 16-10 lead, a 6-run lead, again, I can't overstate this enough, is not insurmountable. I mean, we've seen comebacks, 13 runs, 9 runs with 2 outs in the final inning to create walk-off scenarios. So when your blood gets pumping, the competitors come out. And so I guarantee this thing is going to come down here till the end. But again, Dan Comstock with 2 outs, that might be the difference maker in this night is his ability to deliver and see success with 2 outs and not give up and turn the inning over, because that just gives him an opportunity to continue to pad the lead. There we go. So it looks like he stepped back in, took a pitch, takes a deep breath. Mike earlier was saying he reminds him of a little Buster Posey style. Solid hitter, squares up, pretty smooth swing. And I think Buster Posey did a lot of that at Dodger Stadium. As a Giants fan, I got to give that little plug. Long time ago, we used to do some good winning down there. Not in recent days, but we'll come back. So, and there it is, back-to-back. Another shot. Holy cow, I think that's got to be now almost 5 runs with 2 outs, which is just impressive. His ability to continue to put the ball in play hard, that kind of no back down mentality, and he is padding this lead. So he's got 2 outs here in the fourth. We'll play a full 6. This is the semifinal game of the HitTrax Pro-Am. Winner will be advancing to the semifinals with $1,500 on the line tomorrow for a first place finish. So it looks like that's going to do it. A pop fly to end the inning. To the 5th we go. Tyler Friis looking just about ready to step in the box and get back to work. And I think this is the matchup we all bargained for. I know if I had Mike on the line, he would be saying the same thing. This is the kind of baseball you want. You want these guys to be able to create some offense, hit the ball hard, have some balls fall in for doubles and singles. It's awesome to see Tyler use the other side of the field there and just do what he can. Maybe it's a little bit of an oppo approach. He's got some runs to make up, so maybe he's going a little bit more station to station, try to put a couple runs across. But this is what you want to see. You want to see a competitive game. You want to see the juices flowing. You want to see these guys fired up about every swing that they take. And this is what we bargained for. It's awesome. So 18-10 here in the 5th. We play a full 6. Tyler Friis with runners on the corners. A big opportunity here for him to play at least one and put runners on the corners again. He's been pretty consistent with the doubles. It's a hard line drive down the line. I bet you that gets in for a double for Dan. And it does. And there you go. Tyler Friis, runners advance, and he's closed the gap a little bit. Ball should be caught. I think maybe the shortstop should call him off next time, but whatever. Left fielder's always got outfield's always got the command, so it's okay. And here we go. So you got one out here for Tyler. You got one out here for Dan in this back and forth matchup. What you saw happen there on the right-hand side of the screen is a ball that came straight up from the cage and then back down, but rolls foul. So kind of lucky break for Dan there that ball didn't stay fair and fielded by the catcher, but runner in scoring position, I should say. And that's not what you want. It's not going to do the job. But that's okay. Still an out to play with. And again, we know what this guy can do with 2 outs. So we'll probably see him put a ball over the left field fence here shortly. And here we go. Let's see what he does. Takes the first pitch. Leaping grab. Oh, not over the fence, but hard to the left side of the infield. The left side of the field, I should say. Falls in for a double and definitely does the job. So scores a run, 19-11 ball game. Tyler Friis is done now with his 5th inning. He's got 1 inning left to close the gap, 1 opportunity left. But, oh, wow. 101 off the bat at 7 degrees. You got a pretty stellar third baseman over there fielding that ball. That's pretty impressive. Might have broken his hand, but he held on to it. So to the 6th we go. I can't see Mike, but I'm sure he's fired up right now saying something about how close this game can be. So this is not an insurmountable lead heading into the 6th inning, a final inning of the game, and especially with the format that I'm about to introduce. So in the 6th inning, we go at bat for at bat. The lower seed hits first, or I should say out for out. The lower seed hits first. So we're going to see Dan step in the box and hit until he makes his first out. And once he does, obviously we'll switch over and Tyler will do the same. The beauty of this is you get to go on a run. You get to kind of take a break in between and you get to get your timing down. You get to close that gap. So almost like the end of an inning where if you're still hitting, you can really pad the lead. This gives you an opportunity to just play it out. Hopefully, again, get your rhythm and timing down and pad the lead as it is. So Dan Comstock going into the 6th inning with an 8-run lead, 19-11 here in the semifinals game. I don't know if that's going to do it. It might fall in for a double. Yeah, looks like we just missed it.
Not on my screen. Oh, yeah, you're good. Fly out.
So now we should see Tyler step into the box. And I think this is what we're going to see. I think we're going to see some serious singles, doubles strung together, some hits strung together for a little rally. At least that's what I'd love to see. Tough break there, pop fly to the right side. But that's been Tyler's game all day long, is some singles through the middle of the field. He's been using left center, right center gap for some doubles. Not a whole ton of home runs. I'm not sure that he's actually hit any. But he has been so consistent in delivering the barrel and getting those runners on base. So he's got to have to figure out how to string some together, really deliver here with he's only got 2 more outs to work with. But here steps up Dan again with that 8-run lead. Oh, and an early pop-up. That hurts. That hurts. So he leaves that runner on first base. Tyler has the opportunity to step in the box again, also with the runner on first base. And let's see if we can string some together. We got some cash on the line. We got some bragging rights on the line. We've got another opportunity to play some baseball tomorrow on the line. So there's a lot in it for these guys. And I know they're competing with the utmost intensity. So Tyler steps in, strings them together, singles up the middle, bases loaded. He's got them on all around. Let's see what he does here. Can he play to run? He's got to make sure to stay out of the double play. That's all. That gets down. In for a double. Should score 2. Really, really impressive at-bats here from Tyler Friis to hang in there, start to close this gap, continue to put base runners on. He's got 2 outs left to play with, which again is not a small deal. He can do this, but he's going to have to do a little bit more than that. Unfortunately, that's not going to move anybody. So that's good for his second out. Still with runners on in scoring position, 2 runners on scoring position, which is not nothing. But in steps Dan Comstock, who we know is pretty impressive with 2 outs. And let's see what he can do with it to increase this lead. If I were Dan, I wouldn't be feeling totally safe right now. And that's exactly, I think, not to say that's not what he's trying to do every time, but I think that's exactly what I would try to do, is increase this lead, keep my foot on the gas pedal, don't get cheated on any swing that he takes here in the 6th inning, because no lead is promised. So let's see what he continues to do with his final out of the ball game. Does that carry? I don't think so. I think somebody's going to get under it out there, and that's the last out for Dan Comstock with a 8 lead here in the 6th. Only 1 out for Tyler Friis left to play. An opportunity to close this gap, but he doesn't look like he's going to do it. So there it is. We have a drive line matchup headed to the finals with the final score of 21-13. Dan Comstock will be facing Rich Prigatano in the final round. And I got to say, I mean, I think the game was a little bit closer than the score shows. It felt like it was pretty back and forth all the way through at least the 4th inning. But you see everybody at Driveline there just celebrating. They work so hard and are such masters of their craft out there, and so committed to development and training and a lot of empowerment within that community. So fired up for each other to see 2 of their own advancing to the finals tomorrow. Stay tuned to our social media channels. We will be posting game times as well as highlights, updates, interviews. So we are very much looking forward to tomorrow's best of 3 game series. Congratulations to everybody that participated so far. Congratulations to the guys moving on. And we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.